Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I'm also known as the Taropist, and I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we're just going to do a general collective, whatever comes out reading today. We're not going to focus on any particular topic. We're just going to see whatever comes through. I am going to go into a little spiel about myself in the channel, and for those of you who are not interested in that spiel, you may click the little timestamp in the pinned comment below to jump right into the reading. For those of you who are interested, again, I am the Taropist, and anything that you would ever need to know about myself or my channel, you can either find in the description box below, the channel description, or you can check out my community tab. As well, you can always check out my website, which is www.theterapist.com. And right at this moment, I do not have Zoom or FaceTime personal readings available. However, I do have my pre recorded and email readings available, and you can find all that you would ever need to know about those in the description box below. I think that's about it, guys. Of course, these readings are general and for a collective audience, so they're not going to resonate for everyone. However, if you would like me to be more likely to pick up on your personal situation and you're not interested in a personal reading, engaging with the channel in some way is going to be helpful for me to pick up on your energy in these collective readings. Some easy ways you can do that are by liking any of the videos. Of course, you can comment on them as well. You can definitely like or comment on any of my community tab posts, and sharing my content is always welcomed and encouraged. Guys, my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for us to exchange energy, or for you to ingrain your energy here into these readings and into the channel, is by clicking the little subscribe button below. If you are going to do that because you feel that you do resonate with my energy and want the readings to be more resonant for you, don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to all if you would like to be notified when I do upload or go live. And that is going to be all for the spiel there. I started getting a little zony, but we are going to start out with the Moonology Oracle, it looks like, today. And again, we're just catching whatever vibe comes out. We're usually going to check out the cards and then see if any additional information would like to channel through for you. Sometimes we pick up on very specific situations, and sometimes it is a very generalized message. Choked on my own uvula there, and we have luck is on your side, and I do love the sound of that. Something about Jupiter, Sagittarius, new moon. Expect powerful change. Okay, so this is exciting news. I mean, this is yeah, something huge. It's miraculous. So because it's like Jupiter energy, it's kind of like a miraculous. I don't know if this has anything to do with Jupiter, but luck is on your side here, and Sagittarian energy, and it is ruled by the planet Jupiter. But it feels like, I want to say dumb luck, okay? It feels like a miraculous situation where you're just in the right place at the right time. The answers you need are coming, and emotions are running high. Okay, let's find out more. We're going to get some tarot first, and then we'll go into the energy oracle. We have a fiery climax approaches. Just a really, I want to say, auspicious time, and I'm not even 100% sure what that means, but it feels like everything that it could align in your favor is aligning planetarily at this moment, okay? Of course, these are the moonology, and there is a lot to do with the moon here, but there's other planets involved, and it does feel like there's some planetary alignment in your chart that is setting you up for, I keep wanting to say dumb luck, but it's like, not because you haven't been working hard or anything. It's almost like, but the thing you have been working on isn't how you're going to become successful. There's like this outside situation coming in, and it's going to feel like you didn't do anything to get the situation. It's just lucky. And it's just the right place at the right time. 6 of Swords. I do feel like you've been going through it though. So some probably this is similar or why I think we end up in this energy of things really starting to shift in our favor, or to feel more auspicious or lucky. There's again some planetary alignment that's set up in your particular situation, whomever I'm reading for, that is making the energy lucky for you. But there is something about you going through or kind of actually feeling the weight of all of the things that maybe you were suppressing previously with the Six of Swords here. Or are you actually working through some of these painful situations that you were at one time trying to run away from? Is the energy that I'm getting. Let's find out more. So there's a feeling of you finally sitting with these negative emotions that you have been trying to, I want to say fix, okay, instead of heal. So fixing them kind of entails avoiding them, right? Fixing them. It's like people want to do things that make them happy instead of focusing on the things that the negative emotions that they were having or the things that hurt still. And that's sort of like a band-aid. And when you do that, when you start to focus on things that make you happy, and this is why I get a little frustrated when people say, well, just have a more positive thought process. Of course, being a negative person or always seeing the negatives and everything is not going to be conducive to a lucky or abundant lifestyle. But when you have real trauma, which it does feel like you do, that you need to work through, this actually requires that you feel it. So you do focus on it for a little while. You can't just happy your way out of trauma. You do need to feel it as if it were occurring now, especially if you suppressed it as it was really occurring and for it feels like quite a long time. Auspicious time. Okay. So there's again, with because of this movement, you going through and actually facing the pain that you were trying to run from or trying to avoid ever having to feel by staying positive and feeling and trying to remain happy. By the way, I think you were doing things that made you happy. And I don't think all of those things were on a superficial level. I think some of those things were numbing the pain, staying like having fun, going out, being around people, staying busy. Those are some ways that we can avoid doing the real work and trying to remain happy or become happy or something like that. And then there are really healthy ways to try to feel happy or feel better. And this is getting out in nature and things like that. And I do think you have maybe done that. I'm almost getting that you went on vacation and had an awakening there. Due to actually the powerful life force energy that you encountered on whatever vacation you were on. It may not have been a vacation, by the way. It could have even been a work situation where you traveled across country, you were near an ocean, so you decided to go sit at the ocean or go in the ocean. This could be anything, by the way. You could have went in the mountains, you could have went somewhere that isn't your local location. And it triggered an awakening within you that is again going to actually, it's like the planets are aligned, and that is kind of what helped this occur. But the fact that you were willing to face, it's like you sat out and cried at the ocean side or something like that, or you were, you know, going through the memories of and really acknowledging maybe your parts in situations or where you were contributing to your own suffering is what I'm getting here. um, then this, so you really started to feel and take accountability. Again, you don't need to call everybody you know or announce it online or anything. When you start to take accountability for the choices that you've made, again, due to some pain that you weren't responsible for. So you were making choices to numb or run because you were in a lot of pain from things that you were not at fault for. I'm getting childhood trauma and or any trauma that you've experienced that was not at your own the hands of yourself, right? So people would like to, some people will tell us that we're responsible for the traumas that we endure, and that isn't the truth. And we're not even, I want to say we are responsible for healing from those traumas, but there's a period of time before we realize that we need to heal, that we actually don't realize we have, I want to say authority, or we have a say in our own healing. We don't realize that that's something that we can do or that we can make the choice to do. But something in this, whatever relocation you had here, and again, it could be a temporary relocation. You could have went on a trip for business or on a vacation somewhere that was, you might have just been called to the ocean and been like, I have to go and I don't know why. And then the universe was literally calling you to this healing vortex. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but there was a portal that you stepped through by acknowledging in your own mind, in your own consciousness, acknowledging or taking accountability for the way that you ran from, instead of feeling the pain of that you didn't cause, the pain that you endured. Again, our choice is either to feel it and actually heal from it, or to run from it and try to avoid it. And oftentimes we don't realize that's a choice. So we're trying to do what the world tells us to do: feel better, be more positive, think, but you didn't realize just sitting with it, feeling it, and acknowledging where, and taking accountability for the parts where you continued to suffer from this by choice, instead of healing from it by feeling it officially. I hope this makes sense for you. I do have there is something on the bottom of the deck, by the way. It's the Two of Pentacles, and it is about this is a kind of a need to, I want to say, you've stayed very busy trying to feel joyful. This is what it's saying, is like that was the card, basically, that all the things I just explained here is that you tried to do this, go there, and even this vacation or whatever this is, you had in your mind that it was going to make you happy. Oh, on a more surface level, you didn't realize there was going to be this deep soul awakening that occurred here. It's very powerful, and I'm very proud of you. But what's coming for you, because you've chosen to feel this instead of continue to try to feel better? Yeah, that's one of the worst pieces of advice we'll ever get, is, again, when you're in the middle of a traumatic situation where your nervous system is trying to release negative energy from a traumatic situation that you endured. I want to say incurred. I don't even know what that means, but it keeps coming through. So I'm going to just, whatever that is. So it's like I'm getting like just a kind of like I'm getting like an accumulation over time of trauma after trauma after trauma, because we kept choosing maybe familiar situations that caused more trauma because we were used to being in traumatic situations or chaotic or toxic situations. And so it just kind of, I want to say, compiled or uh com- compiled. I don't know what that means. Okay, guys, we're gonna get some of these. The world, oof, da baby, because it's like the world is at your fingertips now, and I can't tell you the energy of the luck that's about to hit you because of the one moment in time where you're sitting out in nature. It doesn't have to be oceanside. It feels like it was. However, you were sitting in a moment. It could have been in your vehicle. It doesn't even have to be in nature. There was a moment where you had the choice to try to distract yourself from what was coming up for you, or sit with it and feel it. And again, acknowledge where you've used the trauma that you've endured to make other traumatic and painful choices in your life. Oh my goodness, whatever you did there, whatever acknowledgement you did, just again internally with yourself, has caused this huge miraculous shift to occur in your life. Closing out this cycle is going to mean that you'll never have to go back to that place again, that you kept reliving over and over again in different situations, different faces, different people, all the same scenario. By the way, it's all the same energy or feeling you kept having to relive because it was still trapped in your nervous system or your core. Because you did this release, it's like it's gone, and you're now able to allow all of the things that were always meant for you. It's like the things you thought you daydreamed about in your past are now coming into your third dimensional or physical reality, because they weren't just imaginations or fantasies or dreams. They were literally little snippets of your future, should you ever be able to feel the pain of the trauma that you had to endure. And now it looks like you have done so. Okay, again, this awakening was triggered by something, and it feels like something out in nature. And now that you've gone through the feelings of it, or maybe you're in the midst of feeling it and they're just wanting to let you know what comes after. Sometimes this takes a long time, by the way. It took me years, although I am a very like empathic sort of, I feel things more on a deeper level. I don't think everybody's going to have to go through such a lengthy release of trauma or release of this sort of negative emotion. This release of this like nervous system reset is kind of the energy that I'm getting. By the way, they're saying something about nervous system reset yoga, which I've never actually done, but I know that there's something like that out there. So go ahead and put that in your YouTube search engine after you're done with this here. And there's some poses that you can hit that will help to release the rest of this. Your nervous system does need to feel the negative emotions as if you're going through those emotions or that situation again. If you did suppress it kind of initially or immediately, and then continued to suppress it over time, thinking that in time it would just go away. So again, the only non-negotiable here is that you have to feel it as if it's happening, and without suppressing it or without putting it on others. By the way, there is this other thing about healing. When we do the real healing, if we just kind of force it on the pain onto somebody else, it bounces back, so we have to relive it again or re-heal it again. So meaning you can't go on lashing out on other people and let that be how you heal. That'll never heal you either. So there's a need to feel it actually, to yourself. And I think you're going through that now. Of course, some of you may have already gone through it and already released it. They are saying that some, I don't know what I said, trauma yoga, some sort of trauma release yoga. You can Google that, is going to also help you kind of get any of those maybe last bits of energy. I don't know much about energy work, but that's what they're saying. You could also work with an energy worker. They're saying you're getting energy work done right now by listening to this message. And of course, you can just anything you can do to enhance this kind of release of this trauma in your nervous system, by yoga, by way of crying, by way of writing. There's a lot of things that you can do to help this release efficiently or more quickly. Some of us lay in bed and cry, but some of us do better by writing and getting it out, or even going into talk therapy or something like that. But either way, it seems like whatever is coming after this, because of this release and this genuine, um, yeah, it's like there's no, again, there's ways that we try to release this trauma or in a more fake or non-effective way by staying happy and doing things that are fun or being around people that are fun. By the way, usually those people end up hurting us because we're choosing fun people instead of good people or whatever it is. Maybe they're kind of betraying us, or they're deceitful, or there's something not quite, they don't have a genuine care or concern for the real us because we've chosen them because out of familiarity. And then I'm sorry, I want to see what we have. The world card. So we're ending this cycle, or you're in the middle of closing this lifelong cycle out where we kept repeating the same exact scenarios in different people, places, and things. So you'll no longer need to go through those lessons. It's like you're almost feeling like you don't want to work anymore. You don't want to go to a job. You don't want to do this. You don't want to get in a relationship because you've had all of these same experiences trying to release this same trauma in your core. And now that it is gone, you no longer need to experience those same experiences, and again in different people, places, and things. Man holding a coin. Okay, man holding a coin right under the King of Pentacles. Both very similar energies. There could be somebody who wants to invest in you. By the way, it could be a Sagittarius that has done very well for themselves, or somebody who has done very well for themselves financially, that sees what you're doing and sees the healing that you've gone through. I don't know what it is you do. This could be a leader in your career. This could be, if you're in the public eye, somebody that spotted you in the public eye and has watched you grow immensely over the years or something like that. And then healer of the ages, because I think that it's been very clear that you are here with a very powerful mission, to heal yourself. All healers have to go through traumatic situations so that they can learn the power of energy and healing, as they work on themselves and heal their own nervous system through energy work, their own energy work. And then they can use that same, I want to say, what is this? They whatever it is, maybe you're going to get into, I want to say qigong, I don't even know how to say that, or something like that. And so there's different types of energy work, reiki, however you pronounce that. There's different types of energy work that you could get into. Maybe you're being called to do that. Maybe you're already doing that, but they're saying that because your own energy hadn't been healed at the time, it hadn't been as successful. But there's somebody who sees what you're doing and sees, I can literally feel the difference in your energy print. I don't know what that means. Energy print. So there's something about like a energetic footprint or fingerprint or something that we all have. So yours was be able to, people that can feel or read energy were able to feel or read that within you, but there was still a lot of, I want to say, kind of negative energies clogging up your aura, or giving you, making it harder for you to really hone in on these abilities or these skills. But it's time. Whatever this is, you're going, and even if, by the way, if you're not in the public eye as a healer, You could literally be doing speeches or even maybe training at whatever it is you do in this world, whatever you're going to start contributing now that you've done this healing or now that you're doing this healing is going to be so rewarding and healing for those who receive whatever it is you're giving. Okay. And there's somebody who wants to invest in that. This could be, like I said, a leader in your company or a leader in the public eye, but it feels like somebody has spotted you, maybe been watching you for longer than you know, and watched the way that you've grown, and they want to now invest in you. And that could be this very, all of a sudden, not just this door, by the way, whatever this is, there is somebody coming in with some sort of offer here. It could be a whole company coming in, by the way, not just one person, but some of you do have just somebody who's very successful and in the public eye. I'm getting for a lot of you that would like to invest in whatever it is you're putting out into the universe or into the world at this time. Okay. Or maybe you're not putting anything out and they would like you to because they can see that you have this gift of healing and that you've gone through I want to say, what's this? Not hazing, but like this initiation process of healing your own very wounded energy first. Okay. So that is how we become a healer in this lifetime, is by taking responsibility for healing our own wounds. And then we have what it takes to help others heal themselves as well. Okay. I'm going to end it there, you guys. If you're still here, go ahead and click that like button. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. And I will see you guys very soon. Mwah.